Clear how many Disney workers actually took part. West 3's Amanda Dukes joins us live from outside Disney. And Amanda, did you see any of them protesting?
Well, we did see one protester earlier. You know, we're not able to get into the park or even into the corporate offices, so it's been a little difficult to get a handle on how many Disney workers actually did walk off the job. But I can tell you, monitoring ride times, the waits for rides, as well as social media, it doesn't look like the walkout had any big impact on park operations today. At the Disney entrance at Hotel Plaza Boulevard Tuesday, lone cast member Nicholas Maldonado protested Disney's response to what critics call Florida's Don't Say Gay bill.
All right, guys, so as you saw there, the Walt Disney LGBTQ employee walkout failed spectacularly as only one person showed up, right? Only one person showed up at the Florida location. Now, I find this to be hilarious, and the reason why is because just a few weeks ago, okay, the CEO of Disney, Bob Chapek, was groveling to the LGBTQ employees saying, "I let you down. I'm so sorry. I wasn't a stronger ally to your cause." Okay, that is after they protested and cried and complained about how the Disney CEO wasn't doing enough, right? He wasn't doing enough to stand up for their rights, to stand up for the right for teachers to be able to talk to kids about sex in kindergarten, right? He wasn't doing enough about that. And so therefore he needed to do more. Okay, he needed to show that he was a stronger ally, okay? And he tried to, right? He tried to because he called up Ron DeSantis to try to lobby him on the bill like, you know, corporations do. They try to buy politicians and basically at that point tell them what to do and influence them. And Ron DeSantis was like, no. I can't be bought, right? I'm not a whore. I'm going to say no and kick rocks, right? We're going to protect our children, right? That's what Ron DeSantis told this guy, okay? That's what he told this guy. Now, lo and behold, when it comes time for the LGBTQ employees and the people that are triggered by this bill to actually show up and protest themselves, right, to show how much they care about this cause, only one person shows up. Bro, you can't make this stuff up. This is an embarrassment for Disney, okay? It's an embarrassment for the CEO. It's an embarrassment for everybody involved because it's very clear that the employees themselves, at least at the Florida location for Disney, don't even care that much about it. They don't care enough to even show up to their own protest, okay? They don't even care enough. They'll boo-hoo, whine, and complain to the CEO, but they won't show up to their own protest. You know why, guys? Because they know this is all BS. They know at the end of the day that the bill is not banning anybody from saying the word gay in school. It's not banning people from being gay. It's not even banning gay or queer teachers. It's not banning any of that stuff. It's simply saying, hey, we want to make it more transparent to parents what their kids are receiving in school, right? What forms they're having to sign, what paperwork they're receiving. And also on top of that, we don't want kids being taught to about sex and gender ideology in school, okay? Because you got a whole lot of teachers out there that because they didn't like the genitalia they were born with, they feel like they have to tell kids about it. They got to tell kindergartnens, first graders, second graders about the fact that they don't like their genitalia, okay? And Ron DeSantis is simply saying, you know what? That's unnecessary. And with each passing day, I'm telling you guys, the Florida Republicans in general, really, DeSantis, they're looking more and more sane because the Democrats, for whatever reason, have chosen to fight for issues that I just think 20, 30 years down the road from there, people are going to be like, what the hell were we thinking, right? What were we thinking? Okay, you're fighting for kids to be taught about sex in kindergarten, okay? To be told about sexuality in kindergarten, to be able to castrate themselves. Okay, that's what Democrats are actively fighting for. That's a major position on their policy platform, right? So, you know, like I said, to normal people, to sane people, people are looking at this and saying, you know, them Republicans, man, I might not like everything about them, but they're not crazy, right? They're not this crazy, okay? But hey, with that being said, it looked like the walkout went at least a little bit better out in California as slightly more people showed up. Take a look.
Say gay, say gay, say gay, say gay, say gay.
Stay gay. Stay gay. Stay gay. Stay gay. Yeah, so the fact that you can get that many idiots to walk off their jobs over the rights for teachers to talk to kids about sex, it really blows my mind. It really does. It shows you how backwards our society is. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and read about the demands that these employees are making from their walkout. Let's read about this. Some employees of the Walt Disney Company walked off the job Tuesday to protest what they said was the company's tepid response to a Florida bill that would restrict discussion of gender and sexuality in schools. Hundreds of employees were seen marching out of the company's headquarters in Burbank, California, Tuesday morning, according to CNBC field producer Steve DeSaulniers. The full-scale walkout came after Disney employees planned a series of smaller walkouts during their 15-minute breaks to urge companies to take a stronger stance against the parental rights and education legislation, which advocates have dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill. The recent statements by the Walt Disney leadership regarding the Florida legislators' recent Don't Say Gay bill have utterly failed to match the magnitude of the threat of the LGBTQ IA plus safety represented by this legislation. An open letter by Disney employees reads, primarily those statements have indicated that leadership still does not truly understand the impact this legislation is having not only on cast members in the state of Florida, but all members of the LGBTQ plus community in the company and beyond, the letter said. Employees are calling for Disney to stop making political donations to certain Florida politicians, including Governor Ron DeSantis, and commit to a plan to protect LGBTQ plus staff from such legislation, among other demands. Hey, you know what? I agree with that. Right? Yeah, you should stop sending money to these politicians. Okay? Stop trying to buy politicians. I 100% agree with that. The discord inside the entertainment giant grew until earlier this month. Disney CEO Bob Chapek apologized for not speaking out sooner against the bill, saying he should have been a stronger ally in the fight for equal rights. Chapek said he called DeSantis to express his concerns about the bill becoming law and said the company was reassessing our approach to advocacy, including political donations in Florida, where Walt Disney World is located. Again, I 100% agree with Disney pulling their funds from politicians. Yeah, stop buying politicians, man. Yeah, I agree with that. Company executives announced during a Monday town hall meeting with employees that Chapek would embark on a listening tour with workers in an effort to assuage their concerns over Disney's response to the legislation, Bloomberg reported. Still, organizers claim that some employees of Disneyland in California who did not feel safe to walk out Tuesday were told they couldn't wear pride/trans Mickey pins, which they said Disney itself sells, to show their support. Florida's Senate and House, both of which are controlled by Republicans, passed legislation to become law. It now needs the signature of DeSantis, who has signaled his support. DeSantis has called Disney a woke corporation for opposing the bill. I mean, DeSantis is 100% right. Okay? So here's the thing. These people, their priorities are out of line. They really are, because this bill is not anti-LGBTQ, right? So with that being said, this bill really doesn't have an effect on them. Okay, and they're simply worried about the wrong things. While at the same time, Florida is actually passing legislation that is going to help students and the LGBTQ community, because it's going to make them smarter about money and finance, okay, as they are requiring students to take a financial literacy course in order to graduate now. So let's actually listen to Ron DeSantis talk about a bill that actually really is going to have an impact on students. Not only is it going to have an impact, it's also going to have a positive impact. They should be celebrating this, right? This is the most pro-LGBTQ legislation that the governor has passed, okay? I'm just being real.
Today, I think, is good because what the bill's doing with financial literacy is really providing a foundation for students that's going to be applicable in their lives regardless of what path they take. I mean, if they go the university route, postgraduate, any of that, they're still going to need these skills. If they go right into the workforce, they're still going to need these skills. And so any different endeavor that you do to be able to be well-versed in financial literacy, that is going to help you. And I think that what we're doing here today, we're going to be signing SB 1054, which was Senator Hudson's bill in the Senate, and Representative Cabrera's bill in the House. It will require all Florida high school students to meet a financial literacy 1/2 credit requirement in order to graduate. And so this is something that will start to apply in the 23-24 school year. So students now are going to continue meeting the requirements that are in place at this time. But this will be provide a foundation for students to learn about the basics of money management, understanding debt, understanding how to balance a checkbook, understanding the fundamentals of investing.
Yeah, so I 100% agree with that. That is Ron DeSantis and the Florida Republicans passing legislation that people should be celebrating. The LGBTQ community should be celebrating. Black people should be celebrating. Everybody should be celebrating this. Okay, because this, you want to talk about helping so-called minorities and marginalized people? Nothing's going to help so-called minorities and marginalized people more so than learning about financial literacy. Nothing else will help them more, right? If you help people learn about money, right, you're going to solve all the so-called inequalities that people want to complain about, okay? And this legislation helps do that, right? That's what this legislation does. So, you know, again, it blows my mind in the world of 2022, we have people walking out over a legislation that basically keeps teachers from talking to kindergartens about sex. They get all mad about that, but when the same government, right, passes a bill that is going to help kids learn a fundamental skill to having a better life, nobody's saying anything about it. Nobody is celebrating it, right? You should be celebrating this. You should be thanking this man for what he's doing. Because I'll argue that this is the most pro-LGBTQ legislation that you can pass. What can be more pro-LGBTQ than helping them learn about money, right? So that should be rainbow flags everywhere celebrating this, okay? Just like I believe that this bill, right, because it's teaching people about money, it is the most pro-minority bill as well, too. It is the most pro-American bill. Again, we have our priorities out of line in society. Bills like this should be celebrated. The so-called Don't Say Gay bill or the Parental Rights Education bill, that bill is not discriminating against anybody, and it's just incorporating common sense into classrooms. And it should be celebrated as well, too, that kids aren't being taught about sex in kindergarten, right? Or gender ideology in kindergarten. I think that should be celebrated as well, too. Florida Republicans are blowing out the water, man. They really are. They are doing an excellent job, and they are leading the way in regards to how to effectively govern a state that really is a purple state. It's not even like a solid red state. It's a purple state, okay? And they've shown that you can make things happen, right? And that you can effectively lead even from a position of neutrality, okay? As long as you stick to common sense and things that sane people agree with. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.